Alright, welcome race fans once again to MaxSpeedTV for the second time here tonight. I've already been here once with the No Excuses Sim series, Super Sports series on Monday nights. We just finished that up around 9 o'clock, and here we are, 10:30 after hours here on MaxSpeedTV. We actually have two current broadcasts going on right now. KR is doing another one, and then he will be coming over here later on tonight. So I believe last checked he was around 140 laps in of 200 at The Rock. So he's finishing that, and then he'll be here shortly. But tonight we have a great race for you. So we're watching some little beat and banging going on here. We're at the Clash at the Coliseum, presented by Highway Equipment Company. You are in for a treat here tonight, folks. It is going to be some great racing. We have 18 of the fastest drivers from the Northwest here in the Xfinity series. Again, that is presented by Highway Equipment Company. So without further ado, let's get to all of the sponsors here, and hopefully I do have them in here. I have a slight feeling they are not. They are indeed here. Walls Beard Co. Big shout out to them. They are one of the general sponsors here for all of this, so a big shout out to Walls Beard Co. For being here, a part of Northwest, not necessarily this series in general. They are the title sponsor of the truck series, but they are a general sponsoring board here as well. New Leader, they are part of the two companies that make up Highway Equipment Company. Make sure you check them out at highwayequipment.com. One of those is New Leader, the other one being Highway Equipment Company. So again, make sure you check out both these great sponsors, all part of the Highway Equipment Company banner. On the MaxSpeedTV side of things, our newest sponsor on board is, again, Walls Beard Co. Make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com for some great organic beard products. You know you guys out there have a beard, and if you don't have one, you should probably grow one. They are in style right now, so make sure you get all the products. So take care of that at wallsbeardco.com. simspeedshop.com, they are the official speed shop of MaxSpeedTV. So if you're looking for a great looking button box and or a shifter for your e-brake, you're definitely going to need that. Make sure you check them out. HomeNet Hosting and PC Repair. Make sure you check these guys out. Let them know you heard about it here on MaxSpeedTV, and they will waive your fees to start up a web hosting, and they will also give you a month free. So make sure you check all of that out here. Again, they are the official web host of MaxSpeedTV. Elite 7 Racing. They are the official dirt team of MaxSpeedTV. So make sure you go over, give them a like on their page. They are a great group, guys, a lot of fast racers. So make sure you go check them out. And last but not least is the Ohio IndyCar League. They came on not too long ago as a sponsor, and not only that, we are going to be covering their series here shortly on MaxSpeedTV here in the next week or so, maybe a little under 2 weeks. Josh Medlock here at MaxSpeedTV will be covering that. That being said, we are here with the Northwest Xfinity Series, the Clash at the Coliseum, presented by Highway Equipment Company. We have about 16 minutes here before we get to the racing. So we have lots of stuff to go over. We do want to remind everybody of upcoming events later this week. Tomorrow, make sure you come tune in right here back at MaxSpeedTV, as we have the Nork iRacing Series and the American iRacing Series, or American iRacing League, sorry. So we got some dirt and some asphalt going on here on MaxSpeedTV tomorrow night. Also, later this week, make sure you stay tuned, because we have some more great racing. Upper Edge Racing and the Northwest Truck Series coming up later this week. So make sure you stay tuned for that. To pull up our pre-race analysts here. Some of this may not be 100% accurate. We are guessing here. Partly cloudy is correct. 2-mile-an-hour winds to the north. 78 degrees, 104 degree track. It is toasty out there on the track at 104 degrees. 150 laps is what they have here today. And miles, it's going to be 80 miles, so less miles than laps. But again, this is the last great Coliseum here at Bristol Motor Speedway here on iRacing. So you make sure you get your seat because you're going to not want to miss any of the racing action. Tire window, 10 to 15 laps. They are actually going to want tires anytime there is a caution. These guys are going to be screaming, give me tires. Fuel window, we said 65 to 70 laps. Not 100% sure how accurate that is. We did not get a fuel run in here to test. But regardless, fuel really is not going to be a factor here. I don't think it's really going to be tires is the main key. Pit road speed, 35 miles an hour. So you have to get these cars slowed up from 120, 130 to 35 miles an hour very quickly to get on pit road. And different here, the pit road is on both sides of the track, so you have to know which one you're pitting. Actually here won't matter because there's 18, each side holds of a 20 to 22, so everybody will be on one side of the track here tonight, so that will be very beneficial. While we're here, about 14 minutes to go, let's pull up your official point standings here coming into the night. Chris White does have a 46-point lead. He has got a nice sizable lead over Jeff Stabnow. Stabnow having a terrific run this season. He's trying to hang on and get every win he can and possibly get that points lead. He's got his work cut out for him with Chris White being just ahead of him. Carl Burke and Gary Nichols both tied for third. 58 points out, 252 points. David Applegate sitting in fifth place right now with 244 points, 66 out of first. Right behind him is Case Hinkins with 235 points. Brian Barnes with a total points of 232. So he's got a little bit of work to get out here. He's just a few points behind Case Hinkins. Matt Henry, 227 points. Brett Johnson, 219 points. And Brad Cornell, 209 points. And that rounds out your top 10 in points right now. A driver to look out for here tonight is going to be Andy Vogt, 202 points. He could gain some ground here. Scott Mans currently sitting in 12th with 195 points. And he is at the top of the charts right now with a 15.244. So another driver to look out for here tonight. Mark Walls sitting in 13th, 185 points. He just connected, so he is just now getting here, but he will make 19 drivers here for tonight's race. Michael Peterson, also known as Mike Peterson, 170 points right now. Corey Walters, 163 points. Tom Green sitting in 16th with 119. And from this point on, they really start to put some big gaps between them and the leader. Trent Alley, 17th, 112 points. And right behind him, John Ottenbacher, 101 points. John Ottenbacher, a very fast driver, but currently 13th fastest here in practice with 15.507. So he definitely has his work cut out for him. He's going to move his way up through the points. We'll see where he moves up from 18th after the race. Trenton Barrington, 98 points in 19th and 20th. 1 point behind him is Frank Harris with 97 points. That will do it for your point standings. That is your top 20 in the point standings right now. I'm sure it will shake up after the race. As always here is we're going to pull on our other ticker, let you know who's won a race. You can see right there Corey Walters has won a race here in this series. So you can see who's won a race so far in the season, as it's going to be a very interesting race here at the Coliseum. This is the last great Coliseum, and it has a very interesting style of racing. It's what we like to refer to here in the racing world as a self-cleaning track. Anything that goes up will come down, and it always does. So it will clean itself off here. So we'll be looking to see who can survive here and who can tame this track. It's going to be very interesting here to see, but we're going to step away one last time here. Hopefully one last time. We're going to pull at least one driver up to the booth here, see if we can't get a quick interview in, and we will get right back here with one of these drivers just to kind of get a word and see what they think of the track. So give us just a minute and we'll be right back. All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, with a one of, hopefully we'll get 2 or 3 in here, quick interviews before this race gets started. We do have Chris White in the booth with us. So first off, Chris, we want to talk to you a little bit. You have a 46-point lead over Jeff Stabnout right now with 310 points coming into this race. That is a very nice cushion to have. 46 points is definitely a nice little pad. And coming to the last great Coliseum here, with this being such a short track, is it kind of a sigh of relief to have that big of a cushion?
It's definitely good to have that kind of a cushion, but you know, when the chase starts, it all resets. So technically, it's only going to matter for what, a couple weeks, and get us into the championship run, and starts all over.
It does indeed. So once the chase starts, you win, you're in. You know, this is one of the few leagues that does that here on iRacing that we cover. So we're not sure how the drivers react to it. So give us your opinion. Once you get into the chase and you know you need to get that win, does it change the dynamic of the race? You know, knowing that to get the win, you're in.
It certainly does. Like right now, I've got a pretty good lead, so I'm pretty comfortable. I'm just kind of taking it race by race, trying to put up the best finish I can each race and maintain that lead. As far as getting into the chase, points reset, then it's fair game for everybody that's in the chase. You got to, again, be patient. Just hit your marks week in, week out. Try to finish up front. Try to get that win so you can advance on.
Win is the best way to do it. Like obviously, if none of the chase guys win and it's off of points, it can be done that way, but obviously a win is preferred. It just kind of gives you that edge, especially if you can be the one to get that win on the first week and kind of have a break for the rest of it. You know, you don't have to push it as hard. With that being said, you know, obviously, you know, we're not here for post-race show, but we are here in the pre-race show. So we know you have some sponsors, and just anybody you want to give a shout out to, just for allowing you to be here tonight and possibly race for a win.
Definitely, I got my new deal on board here, Elite Star Marketing. Joined forces with MCA Motor Club of America. If anybody's interested in roadside assistance, visit EliteStarMarketing.com. And then, of course, the series guys. We got New Leader, Highway, and Waltz Beard Co. Got to thank them guys for putting this series on. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a good year, and I'm looking forward to Bristol.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be a very fun night of racing. I am looking forward to it here in the booth to see how it all plays out. But again, we're going to step away here. We'll see if we can't get another driver into the booth with us real fast. So hang tight with us, and we will be right back here in just about a minute with another quick driver interview. So again, hang tight with us. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here just under about 45 seconds, so it didn't take us long here. We do have someone new in the booth with us here. We have the 10 car of Andy Vogt. So first off, Andy, welcome to the booth here in the pre-race show. So kind of get your thoughts on the track here. This is the last great Coliseum. So coming into this race, you're sitting right now in 11th in points with 202 points, just shy of getting in the top 10 in points. So how do you think your odds are here tonight coming into this race?
You know, it's going to be kind of
It's definitely an interesting track here. Again, you know, we refer to this track as a self-cleaning track. Anything that goes up will come down. It has really high bankings and really paperclip type track here. So as far as you know, is there a problem child corner, 1 or 2, 3 or 4? Is there one corner that seems to be the more of a problem compared to the other one? Well, that is definitely not good, and apparently we had you muted there. My apologies. But, we were just talking to you about the thing. It has been a very long day here doing stuff, but you were saying about the corners. Which one are you saying is the one for in your opinion, which one's worse or better for you?
For me tonight, it seems to be the 1-2 corner. I'm having a little bit of a problem with it, wanting to slide up out of the corner when I start throttling back out. 3-4, no, seems to go right where I want it to, and it doesn't give me nearly as many problems.
Oh, and also on the site, it looks like there's some rubber being laid down there. There's some serious black being put down in the corners here. But this track's 104 degrees, so, you know, as far as grip levels, is there much grip anywhere? Which is it the top side, the low side? Which one has more grip, or is there any grip out there at all?
I'm finding that I'm a little bit more comfortable with about the mid to high line. When I get down into the lower line, I just don't seem to have the grip to keep up with everybody.
Oh, and we did see some people running the high line earlier. Jeff Stabnow running it. So on the high side, just in your opinion here, we want to know, how dangerous is it up there running? That wall seems to have a magnet of some type to these cars.
You know, running up on the high line doesn't seem to be too bad if you hit it right. If you get into it a little bit hot, you're going to have problems. Midline, though, if you've got your speed set just right, you're going to come right out of there, fall on the wall. You get a pretty massive run on everybody else.
Yeah, it really is. This whole track is just crazy. It really is a different style of track. We go from a road course to Bristol, so you know you're getting the best of both here. You got some really long road courses, some really short tracks, some intermediate tracks. This is probably one of the best series out there for that here in the Northwest. But we don't want to keep you too much here, so any sponsors or shout outs you want to give before we get into qualifying?
Yeah, definitely want to give a shout out to the sponsors. You know, and I don't have them right in front of me. I'm actually my Oculus, so I can't even see them at the moment. So if you could name them off for me, please, Charles.
Well, we do have Highway Equipment Company, New Leader, Highway, and Walls Beard Co. All of those on board here. So obviously VR headsets don't allow you to see a whole lot outside the racing sim, but he would definitely give a shout out to all those. But you got about a minute to go, so we'll get you down to the pits, and we'll get you ready to qualify.
All right, thanks a lot, Charles.
Alright, that being said, I do apologize for having his mic muted there. We did unmute it, caught it there. We got 40 seconds to go. We're going to get straight to the national anthem. We'll come back. Qualifying will be underway, and hopefully by then some times will be put in.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alright, we are back here once again. Qualifying is underway and times have been put in, so let's go down and we will pull up our driver bar here following David Applegate. He has the fastest time right now here in qualifying. We'll also put up our qual times there for you. 20 drivers here, so that is everybody's car number right there. David Applegate at the top, 15.371. Tom Green right behind him with a 15.454. Corey Walters, a previous winner here tonight. He is currently in third position with a 15.495. 041 off of Tom Green. Matt Henry currently sitting right in fifth as Mark Wall is going to take it to the top of the track. Top of the charts, running at the top of the track. A very good run for Mark Walls, 15.322 to take it to the top. Trent Alley currently in 8th place with that number 85 machine. Can he get any faster? Right now, 15.658, and we'll see if he can do it. Right now, Jeff Stabnow puts it in 5th place with a 15.485. Very good time for someone who has won a race here. Apologies, losing my voice there a little bit, to put him in 5th place right now. Dana Rogers just shut it down. John Ottenbacher currently 14th with a 16.309. Brett Johnson coming out onto the track now, as he will come out to start his first lap, as well as Scott Mann coming out onto the track. He was very quick in practice, so we'll look to see if he can take it to the top of the charts here. I have a feeling he may give Mark Walls and David Applegate a run for the money here tonight. Well, the question of the night, excuse me, who will win here tonight? Scott Mann just putting in a time, and it looks like she's in scraped walls, so we'll see if the time does count. Meanwhile, Chris White is coming out onto the track too. So we'll switch over to Chris White, as that time's not going to count after contact with the wall. Chris White starting lap number 1 right now. What is it going to be? We'll see. He was right on the backstretch trail, so he's just coming around, and just in a split second he will get it right there. We'll put in lap number 1, put him in 10th place, 15.590. So a good run for him. Trent Alley still out on the track. Scott May is sitting at the end of pit road right now. He is not taking a time. Apologize, losing my voice there again. It's been a long day here. But Scott Mann not going to be taking a time, as 48 seconds left to go. So I don't think he is going to be able to go in there. He doesn't now. He's got 40 seconds, so he could possibly get around, but he'd have to go now, and I don't think he's going to, so we'll get rid of that, as well as the driver bar. But that will do it. 30 seconds to go. He cannot make it this point. He wouldn't complete 2 laps. So he's going to start at the back of this field. Scott Hutchinson did not qualify either, and William Fletcher not going to be qualifying. So, and along with Scott Mann, of course, so 3 drivers not qualifying. Alright, so that will do it for qualifying. 3 seconds left here. And it looks like Mark Walls is going to be your pole sitter here for the race. This is going to be 150 laps here at the Last Great Calls in Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, Mark Walls is going to be your pole sitter, as it looks like everybody is taking to the grid here. We'll see where everyone stacks up. Once they get to the grid, we'll go through your starting lineup here. 20 cars, 10 rows, and this race will get underway. Oh, there it is. We got a few drivers starting to take to the grid. The 24 has, the 4 has, waiting on the 29 to take his rightful place at the front of this field. And there he does it, the 29 of Mark Walls. So let's go through your Walls Beard Co. starting lineup. Starting grid here on row 1 is going to be Mark Walls in the 29 and the 23 of David Applegate. Row 2 is going to be Tom Green in the 77 and the 4 in 4th of Brian Barnes. In row 3, we're going to have the 24 of Jeff Stabnow and the 9 of Corey Walters, both of those winning a race this season so far. Row 4 is going to be the 19 of Matt Henry and the 7 of Brett Johnson. Row 5 is going to be the 35 of Chris White, who does have a race win as well, and Gary Nichols in the 8. In row 6, it's going to be Trent Alley in the 85, and in the 53 and 12th on row 6 is going to be Carl Burke. Row 7 is going to be Andy Vogt in the 10, who again does have a race win this season, and Dana Rogers will start the race here. It looks like he is indeed going to start. And it looks so far William Fletcher and Scott Hutchinson not going to start the race here on row 8. Is going to be James Dalziel in the 51 and the 60 or the 89, my bad, of John Ottenbacher. Row 9 is going to be Mike Peterson in the 14, and in the 18th is going to be the 90 of Scott Mann. And that will do it. There is no row 10 as William Fletcher and Scott Hutchinson did not take to the grid. So that will do it for your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. Well, the question is, who's going to come out on top here tonight? Again, we have 2 guys not starting the race. William Fletcher and Scott Hutchinson are not going to start here. So 18 drivers starting the race here tonight. The Clash at the Coliseum, presented by Highway Equipment Company. And we are 1 lap away from getting the green flag. Technically less than 1 lap as the lights are off and we're on the backstretch here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're getting ready to start this race for the first time. 150 laps on the books. We'll see how it goes. Do we have cautions? How many cautions will we have? As there it is, green flag coming out for the first time here in your race. And it's going to be a good start for Mark Walls, as he's going to get a huge jump over the rest of this field. David Applegate in second, Tom Green in third right now, as they're really starting to mix it up already. 2 wide all the way back. Jeff Stabnow trying to make something happen here, as right now everyone seems to want to be on the high side. We've got Jeff Stabnow. He is running the inside lane. Very interesting. We'll see how it plays out. We saw him in practice. He was more preferred of the outside lane, but he has changed that here, as there he goes. He's going to take to the high side, scrapes the wall though, and that doesn't cost him a whole lot of time here. As you can see, they're still double wide all the way back here through the field. David Applegate falls to 5th now. Started 2nd though, and somebody's pulling it down there. Not sure who that is. I believe that is John Ottenbacher in the 89. Back to 18th. He started 16th, so he's in 18th. He has lost a few spots here. 1 lap down already. Dana Rogers as well, and major contact to the back of that car in the front, so they may have had contact together. We'll see. Not sure what happened there. We'll see if we can't get a word with him if we do have a caution, but Mark Walls still out front leading this field here, as there he will lead his 5th lap here in Bristol. Interesting, very interesting race here so far. We're caution free, 6 laps in, and we're fixing to be on the 7th lap here. And it looks like right now it's Mark Walls' race to lead. Tom Green, though, what a run he has been putting together really good finishes here lately. and he is currently sitting in second position. Jeff Stabnow right behind him in a third. Jeff Stabnow's got his hands full, though, with the 19 of Matt Henry, and there goes our leader of Mark Walls. He goes around, and I'm not sure if he had help or what, if he's got loose, with several cars getting involved. The 7, Brett Johnson getting involved. Let's go back and take a look. What happened to our race leader here? And so we'll actually switch to a different view here if we can. Switch to our spotter view. Go up to our leader, Mark Walls. What happened to him here? Oh, it looks like maybe the 29 got in the wall, but the 77 may have come down as well. So let's go back a few more seconds here so we can get a better view at this as to what maybe happened. Again, that was not what he wanted to see. We'll see if we can get a better view here. He does scrape the wall, but the 77 came up as well. So the 77 did not have any fault in that, I wouldn't say, maybe. He did come up, but Mark Walls did get into the wall as well. So, you know, just a racing deal, pushing it hard. As we're taking a look here, Mark Walls, Tom Green on pit road, Corey Walters on pit road, Andy Vogt, Chris White on pit road. Interesting enough, we have several drivers that did not go in. Jeff Stabnow stayed out, Matt Henry stayed out, Brian Barnes stayed out, David Applegate stayed out, Scott Mann stayed out, Mike Peterson stayed out. So several drivers. John Ottenbacher stayed out, but he was a lap down, so he's going to get his lap back here. But it looks like your top 6 drivers did not come in pit road. That is going to be a very interesting call here to see. We know how precious tires are, but track position is very precious as well. So it looks like those top 6 guys are choosing track position over tires here. We'll see how it plays out for them here once we get the green flag again here in a few laps. Alright, it looks like we will have KR here soon. 18 laps to go over in his race. So to update on that, for the ones over here, thanks for tuning in here, but KR will be coming over soon. 18 laps to go over in his race. Here on MaxSpeedTV, we have multiple races going now. But right now, over in this race, you're watching the Clash at the Coliseum, presented by Highway Equipment Company, as we are under caution for the first time here. And why not, if we have a second, we'll see. We have there one caution for 3 laps, 139 laps to go, 1 lead change. Let's see if we can't get a quick word in with Mark Walls here before they go green. As we'll go on aboard with him for just a split second, if we have a chance anyway. We do not, lights are off, so we'll get a word in with him at the next caution. See if we can't figure out what happened there. But the lights are off, so we're going green next time by, so we don't have time to pull him to the booth. We're going to hold off on that till the next caution. Alright, they're getting ready for it though. Matt Henry, there he is. He's scored in the front, but he is towards the back right now. And they are just about ready. There it is. Green flag's out. Jeff Stabnow starting this race. He is out front right now as we'll pull it up. He has led now 6 laps. He's won a race. He's looking to make it 2 here. Can he pull off another victory here in the race? That is going to be a very question. This is a very tough track. Look behind him, Brian Barnes and Matt Henry. Those two battling very hard. Matt Henry did lose a spot there to Brian Barnes to drop to 3rd, but he's still in a top 3 position, considering he started in 7th position. Well, very good run for everybody. Everybody's really kind of single file here. Everybody's trying to stay very calm here. It looks like the 19 of Matt Henry's trying to work over the 4 Brian Barnes if he can, but he just couldn't quite do it. And here comes the 90 of Scott Mann. He did stay out. That's how he got up to the front. But what a run for Scott Mann. He did opt to stay out, but he started 18th up to 4th. Though he's counting on a early caution, everyone coming back down, and him being able to stay up front as he can get into pit road a little bit faster. I'm sure that is probably his strategy. We'll see how it plays off for him. Mark Wall's on the lead lap, still in 7th right now. After contact with the wall, he hit it pretty hard, and he did go around because of it. And of course, the 77 had nowhere to go but into him. He may have possibly helped him out a little bit. He was right there, but it's just a racing incident. You know, no fault to the 77. He was just trying to get by him, and it just so happened that he got into the wall. So that, again, just a racing deal. Back up to the front, we may have a battle for the lead here in a minute. Brian Barnes is trying to run down the 24 Jeff Stabnow, and he's doing a good job. Do not ever count Brian Barnes out. We've seen him start in the back and work his way through the field, as right now he's in 2nd, started 4th, so he has gained 2 positions since the start of the race. So the question is, who's going to win the race here, as we are currently on lap 21 of 250, now 22 of 150. Stabnow out front, Brian Barnes right on his back bumper, and here comes the 19 of Matt Henry trying to get into the mix too. But we don't want to leave these 3 cars as they are battling extremely hard. As the 19 of Matt Henry gets a little loose, but he does recover from it. He is way loose coming out of the corner, almost getting into the outside wall. As these 2 definitely, even 3, and now it's going to be 4 possibly. Scott Mann trying to make his way to the front. These guys are really starting to catch the leader right now. 0.166 seconds separating 1st and 2nd right now. So a very good job for everybody. We do apologize for the little lag there. I had some internet issues, but it is to be sorted out now. So Jeff Stabnow still maintaining the lead. Matt Henry right behind him. Brian Barnes 4th, and Scott Mann 4th. And David Applegate rounding out your top 5. And not sure why it's saying. There goes Jeff Stabnow first. Was glitching out. I was here for a minute saying Carl Burke was there, but Carl Burke is not your leader. And it looks like Carl Burke may have some connection issues. He is out of the race so far. He is not being scored at the moment, so it may be having some issues, as Mike Peterson is going to go another lap down, or a lap down, his first one, as the leaders will get by him pretty easy. And the 19 of Matt Henry did get by Brian Barnes for 2nd position, so now can Matt Henry do anything with Jeff Stabnow? He's going to try his luck at it and see if he can't get by him, but so far nobody's been able to get by Jeff Stabnow on this run anyway. He's led 20 laps. So Jeff Stabnow out front, he's got all the pressure on him right now as he's trying to recover from last week's race where he, in the trucks, where he made a false start 2 weeks in a row. He is definitely not doing that again here. We had a rolling start, but he's out front. Look at the group of cars coming behind him right now. Brian Barnes, Matt Henry, Scott Mann. He has a fleet of cars behind him right now. And it looks like David Applegate and even Mark Walls are getting into this group as well. So a lot of great drivers right here in the front of this race. And they're putting another car a lap down, and that is the Coors Light car. I believe that is the 85 of Trent Alley. They're going to put him a lap down here. And, you know, they're just kind of punching their way through. Once the leader goes through, these next 6 cars are just following suit right now, as Matt Henry fell all the way to 6th position after running up all the way to 2nd. So again, that you lose a little bit of time, you definitely will fall back. So you don't want to do that. And look up front here. Thought we were going to have a battle for the lead. 0.133 seconds separate Brian Barnes from Jeff Stabnow, but just couldn't quite complete the pass. But he was right there. And here comes the 90 of Scott Mann. He's going to take a bit at it. And we'll see, he had 2nd for a split second there, but just couldn't complete it. He's going to try to take it to the bottom here and see if he can do anything with the leader of the 24. Jeff Stabnow just couldn't quite do it, but he is not done yet. He's going to keep digging and see what he can find. Side by side on the backstretch is the 90. Scott Mann's going to have to slack up just a little bit, but here he comes for another run. We'll see, can Scott Mann lead the lap? It's not going to happen this time. He has led 0. It's just so much of a run off that top high side that he just can't get it, and Carl Burke has packed it up for the night. He is done. So that is unfortunate for him. He had such a fast car. Just to be out of this race a little bit earlier than he wanted to. Scott Mann still battling with the lead car, or the leader here of Jeff Stabnow. Brian Barnes looks like he's going to take second back here, as that high side again just has so much momentum coming off the corner. We're on lap 37. They're on 38 of 150. We're closing in on the 50 lap mark very quickly. It looks like the 4 gets into the wall there just a little bit. I believe it was the 4. They got into the wall ever so slightly. Sparks went flying. We'll see here on the replay if it was. It was the 4 indeed. So Sparks go flying, and here comes the 4, Brian Barnes. And ooh, they make contact there just a little bit, and that may seal his fate. His contact almost made before the 4 of Brian Barnes, and more contact made, and there goes the 4 around, and the 24 has nowhere to go but into him, but contact made between Brian Barnes and Jeff Stabnow. So we'll see who gets credited with that caution here, as we'll go back and take a look. And a little bit late there, we only went back 20 seconds. Hang on, let's go back just a wee bit more here, as this is the view we're seeing here. Let's see what happened. We saw contact between these guys right there. Contacts made, just a slight little tap, and then you get 3 wide for a second. Here comes the 24, more contact made with the wall. So the 4 really kind of initiated all that. It was just racing. It wasn't anything intentional. But, you know, contact was made with the 4 and the 24 just from hard racing. Got the 24 of Jeff Stabnow into the wall, and then bounced off and hit the 4 of Brian Barnes. And that will start the chain of events here that we could not get out of. And that's going to give the lead to the 90 of Scott Mann. So Scott Mann's gonna lead a lap here as we're coming down the pit road here. We'll see what kind of times everyone can put in. Mark Walls is gonna stay out, it looks like, so he will regain the lead. Corey Walters is actually going to be scored as your leader, it looks like, as he is in front, starting in first position. It looks like John Ottenbacher is going to stay out as well, so he'll get his lap back. So he's going to get back on the lead lap. So good job for John Ottenbacher to get his lap back from staying out. But again, if you're just tuning in tonight, you're watching the Clash at the Coliseum presented by Highway Equipment Company. Big shout out to Highway Equipment Company and their 2 divisions, Highway and a new leader, as well as Walls Beard Co. And of course on the MaxSpeedTV side of things, big shout out to Walls Beard Co., Sim Speed Shop, HomeNet Hosting and PC Repair, Elite 7 Racing, and Ohio IndyCar League. All great sponsors on board here, as Tom Green is going to take the lead now. So we'll take a look here at the driver bar. Tom Green has led 1 lap here under caution. So again, Tom Green gonna lead a lap here with 2 laps on those tires. Everybody is coming down pit road. Everyone got fresh tires and fuel. So tires key here at Bristol. And what we have, lights are still on. Let's see if we can't get a word in with Jeff Stabnow. He's on the track, so let's do it real fast here. We don't want to take too much time, and we may not even have time this time. Let's see if we can. Oh, never mind, folks. Again, we apologize. Lights are off, so we're going green. Very short laps here by the time we get to the replay. We do not have a whole lot of time. It is a short track, so they get around it very quickly here under caution. Well, going green this time by. This could get very interesting to start this restart here. There it is. Lights are back on, so we're not going green. Let's see if we can't get Stab now in here. Looks like the caution may have been delayed here 1 lap. If the lights go off there, they are indeed so. Delayed it 1 lap, but we're going green this time. Next time by anyway. So they're delaying it still, so not sure what's going on. Let's see if we can't get a word in here with one of these guys. We'll try to get Mark in here from the first caution. Mark Walls, you got a copy?
For?
Well, trying to figure out what happened there in that first caution here. They got into the wall, or did it just get loose?
No, I got into the wall. Whoever was running side by side, it looked like they came up a little, so I tried to give extra room off the corner and just misjudged that one.
Well, it definitely wasn't too much damage. It looked like you're back sitting in 6th place here, and it looks like we're about ready to go here. So we wouldn't keep you too long, but we just wanted to check base with you. But we'll get you going here as we're going to get this green flag going.
10-4. Thank you.
All right. Again, that was Mark Walls. As you see right now, he is running the new leader on-board camera here tonight. We have several drivers running those cameras. We'll try to get a word in with Jeff here in a little bit if we can. But we're getting ready to start this race here. Is Tom Green out front. There's the pace car diving off. Green flag is back in the air. We're racing once again. And it looks like the 77 has a lot of damage to that car. So a whole lot of damage to the 77 of Tom Green. But he's holding it out front. And that's all really matters right now. Is can you hang it out in the lead? And he's doing a good job as the caution's going to come out once again. And I don't see anybody off pace right now. Again, not sure what happened, but pace car's back out and nobody off pace. So while we have a moment, let's see if we can't get a word in with the 24 of Jeff Stab now. We'll go on board with him real fast here, so if we can't get a word in. Jeff Stab now, you got a copy?
I got you, Charles.
We'll try to figure out what happened there. We didn't get to get you in right as the caution came out. A lot of beating and banging going on between you and the 4 Brian Barnes. It looked like maybe just some racing, but how was that car handling out there? That it would just get that loose on you, or was it just the contact that got you? We know you got into the wall and then into the 4, but what happened before that to initiate all that?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't know I got into the wall. That's that's news to me. So it's just tight. Tires are wearing, getting into the corners. It's hard to get it into the corners with any kind of speed and hold a line there. So I honestly don't know what happened from where I was looking at kind of just or where I was sitting. It just felt like we just kind of got into each other racing hard there. Just didn't give each other enough room maybe. But if I got into the wall, I guess that explained it.
Yeah, it looked like he scraped it just a little bit and it came down. But again, it's a very small track. May not have gave enough room there, but you know, it's 130, 40 miles an hour. You can't judge everything as best you could if you were driving 10 miles an hour. So you do the best you can out here. But you got you running the new leader on a board camera here tonight. So hopefully with any luck, we'll get that lap back and see you in the top 3.
Yeah, we gotta get that lap back before we can do anything here. But thank you, Charles.
We will talk to you here in a bit if we can.
10-4.
All right, again, that is another new leader on board came here, Jeff Stab now. So we will switch back to our main camera here, get back up to the front as the lights are still on at the moment. So we're going to take another lap here to get this thing sorted out before we go green. We do want to remind everyone, thanks for tuning in here tonight on MaxSpeedTV. I know it's a little late for some people, but you know, we appreciate everyone that tunes in here tonight. You're watching the Clash at the Coliseum, presented by Highway Equipment Company and their 2 divisions, Highway and new leader Walls Beard Co. coming on board, of course. A Sim Speed Shop, HomeNet, hosting and PC Repair, Elite 7 Racing, and Ohio IndyCar League. All those sponsors coming on board with MaxSpeedTV and the racing side of things. But that being said, the lights are off, so we're getting ready to get this thing going once again. All right, it is almost go time once again. So they are tightening up, getting ready. So tighten those belts down. We're going racing one more time. Thanks for tuning in as we get the green flag one more time. Let's race it out here. We're on lap 53, now 54 of 150 laps. Less than 100 laps to go. Let's pull it up real fast. But we have a second. 3 cautions, 15 laps, 97 laps to go. Under 106 lead changes right now. As out front is Brian Barnes. As Brian Barnes is going to scrape the wall just a little bit. And here comes Andy Vogt trying to make something happen. And they're really starting to stack them up back here in the mid-pack around 7th, 8th, 9th, even 10th, 11th, and 12th. Really stacking it up as we may have some contact in the back. But everybody keeps it going. Mark Wall's right in the middle of this. I don't know what you'd call it, but it is just a huge group of cars that were mixing it up, and they've kind of sorted it out after a little contact looked like it was made. But right now you see two teammates, Mark Walls and Jeff Stabnow, sitting there running together. Obviously, Jeff Stabnow lapped down Mark Walls on the lead lap, so he's not going to race his teammate too terribly much. But there goes a car going around, and I believe that is the 77 of Tom Green. He's off the racing surface. No caution is out so far. Will he bring out a caution? Here comes your leader in the background. So far, no caution. He'll go a lap down. No caution is going to come out. We'll see if he can regain to the field without a caution, and he does. He's going to keep it on the bottom, so no caution will come out. Back up to the front right now. Andy Vogt still trying to get up to Corey Walters. Corey Walters running in second place right now. Is a 1.96 second gap between the front two, and that is not a lot of space here on this track. But Brian Barnes is right there. Here's your leader. Second place is right there, so almost a turn away. So, you know, it's not a lot of room if you make a mistake, but it's still a little bit of room. So you don't want to make any mistakes because they could close it in very well. Scott Mann, fastest in practice. He's currently sitting in third place right now in that 3 machine, or in that 90 machine in third place. Looking right behind him, David Applegate putting a good run together. Andy Vogt and Matt Henry all battling extremely hard, and I don't think there's a car out here that does not have some sort of damage to it. As there, Andy Vogt's going to get into the outside wall once again in that 10 machine, as he will take a little chunk of the wall with him home, and everybody's starting to do so here. Put up the driver bar. That is Andy Vogt right there, the number 10, taking some of the wall home with him. And we'll see. Let's check in back here. Chris White, we haven't talked about him a whole lot here today. He is doing a fantastic job in that 35 machine. He is on the lead lap, currently in 8th place, just trying to pick people off. But again, we just haven't had a chance to really talk about him too terribly much. He's trying to run down Gary Nichols in the 8 and Andy Vogt as well, as they're going to get side by side. Andy Vogt and the 10 and the 8 of Gary Nichols. And it looks like Gary Nichols is going to get the better end of the deal, as Chris White's going to fall back with Andy Vogt. So those two side by side right now, battling for 7th position. The question is, who is going to walk away with the win? It is anybody's guess as to who will win this race. Is right there. You see the battle right now for 6th position. Up front, though, Brian Barnes. He has a huge lead at the moment. 2.599 seconds over your second place car, Corey Walters, right there, who does have a race win. Just unable to do much with it right now. Scott Mann currently sitting in third place in the number 9 machine. And to round out your top 5, it is David Applegate in 4th and Matt Henry in 5th. These two still trying to run down your leaders as well. The question is, can anybody run down Brian Barnes, who has a huge lead? He's going to put the 14 lap down. That is Mike Peterson. So Mike Peterson now 1 lap down to your leader, as he just got put a lap down. So if a caution came out right now, he would get that lap back from the lucky dog. But Brian Barnes is still on the hunt, and he's running down the 85 of Trent Alley. That would put him 2 laps down if he does pass him, and there's the gap right there. It is not much at all. So he has got to try to pass another car if he wants to put him a lap down, but it's not really going to matter too much for the car lap down of Mike Peterson. We are closing up on halfway point right now, as there it is right there. 3 cautions, 15 laps, 79 laps to go. 75 will be the halfway point as we are on lap 73. So we start lap 76. We will officially be halfway done. 6 lead changes, and this race is wrapping up very quickly here tonight. So a very good race indeed here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll see how it goes. Scott Mann did get by Corey Walters. He's in second now. So he did pass him for second there just in that last lap. David Applegate, though, currently running fourth. He may have something for us. They're going to get by the 14 as well. They're trying to get by him anyway, just having a time doing it. The 19 of Matt Henry tried to make it 3 wide there. He was going to try to squeeze it in and get by the 23 of David Applegate. Just couldn't quite complete the pass. Going a little bit back here, John Ottenbacher still 1 lap down as a caution's going to come out. And it's the 35 of Chris White going around. So let's go back and take a look. Alright, what happened to Chris White? Did he have help? He did go around, but I'm sure he may have had some help there. Oh, sideswipes the 14, trying to get around him. Overcorrects. The 14 gets into him, and all by himself there, other than the 14. So it just spins it around. He looked like he came down a little bit before. He thought maybe he was clear of the 14, and he wasn't. It just came down just a little bit. And that was what brought out the caution for, take a look here. That is only the 4th caution here for 17 laps. And it looks like we have a guest in the booth now. Our seat 2 is here, so KR, welcome to the booth.
I think we can get this race started now that I'm here.
That's 70 laps, or 78 laps in. We're halfway done. 200 laps you just got done with, and now you're here for another around 75 laps.
I did. I was doing 3 wide racing at Rockingham. I got to tell you, Rockingham's one of my favorite tracks, but a lot of cautions, almost 50 laps of cautions with those guys, and it delayed me a little bit, so I apologize for being late, but I'm here, and I'm at one of my other favorite tracks is Bristol. That's going to be a great race here.
It is indeed. We've only had 17 laps of cautions here so far, as we have completed 78 laps so far of 150, so we're in the downhill stretch right now, as our 4th caution just came out as you got here, and it looks like Brian Barnes is kind of in the catbird seat. He's one of the drivers that I think we need to be looking for here tonight so far. Him and Scott Mann.
Well, I'm gathering my bearings here, and it looks like Jeff Stabnow has currently scored 1 lap down. That's typically your favorite pick, so fill me in on what happened to him.
Well, he was up front. He led 31 laps, and he was going really good up front, very strong, and just got into with some contact with the 4, who's on the opposite end leading this race. Just a little contact there. It looked like he scraped the wall just a little bit, came off the wall, got into the 4, and spun it around, and got into a few other cars along the way. So some big wrecks happened. We've had multiple car wrecks. We haven't had too many single car wrecks, but that was what caused that just probably about 20 laps ago. So he's still trying to get that lap back. Like you said, he's back in 14th right now.
Sitting back as far as he is, 1 lap down, John Ottenbacher looks to be a lap down as well, but Gary Nichols, last car on the lead lap in the 8 machine. So some of these guys that I root for routinely not doing so well either.
Yeah, they definitely are. And you know, as bad as he's doing right now, 1 lap down, Chris White not doing so good either. He's your points leader, so they may gain some ground on him as the green flag comes back out once again.
Brian Barnes in the 4 getting a good jump. Ooh, we got one going around in the back. That is Mark Walls, I believe, in trouble with the 35 of Chris White.
So far, no cautions coming out. Chris White having to back it up on the track, but he's below the racing surface, so no caution coming out so far, and he's going to pull it out right before the leaders catch him, and they're going to put him a lap down, I'm sure, as here comes your leader, Brian Barnes, to put him a lap down. He's got to catch him, though. He is getting back up to speed, but I have a feeling it's just a matter of time with damage, plus being that far now. There's no chance. He's going to go a lap down, and that is detrimental, as, again, he's your points leader right now.
Yeah, Chris White not wanting to see that, and I'm backing it up to see the replay here, and I will fill you in on what happened between the 29 and 35, as it looks like they got together, or the 29 got bumped by Andy Vogt, and the yellow has come out.
And it's looks like it's going to be Mark Walls again. He's on pit road, so we'll just go back and take a look and see what happened. All by himself here. I'm wondering if he had maybe some damage or those tires worn out and just couldn't hang on to it, and he may be done here tonight. Yeah, just got into the outside wall, and he is gone here for the night. So that new leader, Walls Beardco Chevrolet, not going the way he wanted it tonight, as he is packed it up and taking it to the hauler, and hopefully he'll tune into the broadcast, but unfortunately his night on the racetrack is done.
This is going to be a lucky break for Chris White, as he was in danger of going a lap down, but now he's got an opportunity, not a lot of time, but he's got some time to work on some of his damage here, straighten out some of these fenders and get back out there.
He does indeed, as right now we have 11 cars on the lead lap, and we'll see. Jeff Stabnow is now the first car a lap down, and to find out who our leader is, Brian Barnes. So he is still behind him, so he's not going to get waved around, but he is the first car lap down now. So he's sitting in a very good spot right now. If we see another caution, he could get that lap back.
Sure could. And Chris White pulling out of pit road, probably going to make one more pit stop to try and fix any last minute damage that he can. He's got to stay on the lead lap for any of this to count.
He does. With 62 laps to go, we still have less than half the race to go, but still plenty of laps to get your lap back and work your way through the field, as it's going to be hard. I really think Brian Barnes is the car to beat here. Looking at it, he's led 42 laps now, and I believe he is currently around 7th position. 7th position in the points. He's going to probably pass Case Hinkins. David Applegate, he's ahead of him, so he's going to gain there. Gary Nichols, Carl Burke, Jeff Stabnow, and Chris White. So if he can stay out front, he will gain on the points leader and everyone in front of him by quite a bit.
Yeah, as Chris White comes down pit road one last time here before the field forms up, just trying to get all the damage fixed that he can. He's got just a few seconds here, as we are on a very short track here at Bristol.
It is indeed a very short 150 laps, but it's only 80 miles. And it's actually not even 80, that's rounded. It's only like 79.8 or something like that. So it's very short. You're not even running 150 miles because it's not even a mile. So you don't have much time, as it looks like he is coming out of pit road ahead of the leader. So he's going to have to floor it to get to the rear of this field. He'll be getting up to speed by the time these guys take the green flag.
Yeah, Brian Barnes, your leader for this restart. The 90 machine, Scott Mann on his outside. Down the backstretch they're coming. And it looks like Chris White going to catch up to the back of the field here at the last second. But Brian Barnes, Scott Mann up front, waiting for that pace car to peel off.
And indeed, he will be doing it here shortly as we're closing up on the 100-lap mark here in the next 9 laps. There it is. Green flag is out once again, and we are racing. And Brian Barnes getting a fantastic start. Scott Mann and Matt Hendry still trying to battle it out. But Scott Mann, don't count him out. He was fastest in practice, and he is putting together a fantastic run here. Oh, we got one into the wall, but I think they're going to recover from it.
Andy Vogt losing some ground here in the 10. But able to get going once again. The 7 machine of Brett Johnson on the outside of the 23 of David Applegate.
Yeah, definitely in that. I think that was James Dalziel in the 51 that got into the outside wall. Here, he just came in a little hot. Got into the outside wall, somehow recovering from it. I don't know how nobody managed to wreck from that. But turn 4 outside wall has been very dangerous. A lot of people have been getting into it in practice, and a lot of people have been getting into it here in the race, as well as Jeff Stabnow back getting one lap. John Ottenbacher back on the lead lap. He was a lap down at one point. He's got his damage repaired, and he's on the lead lap trying to work his way back up to the front, but he's currently stuck in 11th place.
So John Ottenbacher, recipient of that last caution, getting the free pass. Jeff Stabnow holding on to being the first car one lap down. He is battling with Mike Peterson for that position. Peterson in the 14, not too far behind him, about 2.6 seconds behind though.
Yeah, definitely got a little bit of a gap there, and that's what he wants. And speaking of gap, there's not much gap between first and second right now. 0.433 seconds separate Brian Barnes from Scott Mann. Scott Mann still trying to run him in. We'll see. Now it's going to be 0.430 as a caution's going to come out. And not sure who it is for.
I'm not really sure either. These are coming out fast and furious.
Yeah, whatever that was for, they managed to recover very quickly, so we don't even know who brought it up.
And the 77 were getting together. The 89 of John Ottenbacher going around once again.
All right, we'll go back here and take a look at the 77 and the 89, see what happened between these two. We didn't get quite back far enough. Let's go back one more time. Here it is. Did somebody come up or did somebody go down? Or is it just a racing deal?
Tough to say a racing deal when the 77 at Tom Green was multiple laps down. But it looks like John Ottenbacher just thought he had him cleared, but not quite.
Yeah, definitely thought he had him cleared, but couldn't quite complete the pass. So that is going to bring out the caution. And look who's at the front of the field once again, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. We'll see if he comes down pit road. But right now, he may stay out. We've seen somebody stay out, several drivers stay out with 10 laps, but he is not. He is going to go to pit road. But he is back on the lead lap. So he is going to be out just ecstatic right now, I'm sure, to be back on the lead lap and try to lead some more laps here, as he has already led 31 laps, and he would love to lead some more, especially that last lap.
Yeah, leading that last lap is very, very important, because that's the one that pays all the money.
It is indeed. It is the best lap 2 lead. You know, it pays the most money, pays the most points. It does a lot of good stuff for you. As now, once again, Brian Barnes is going to retake the lead here. He has now led 55 laps, as we have less than 50 laps to go.
And we are inside of 50 to go. Brian Barnes out front. Scott Mann still in second. And third place now is David Applegate in that 23.
He is indeed, and you know, it seems like as good a time as any. We're going to bunch up. We have not done it this race so far, so why not? I think it's time we go crank it up style here on the restart.
I enjoy a good crank it up.
Well, it is indeed time here. We're in that crunch time per se. We're going to be closing in on 20 laps to go here shortly, as we aren't real close right now, but it'll be here before you know it. Again, they're going to get double file here. 6 cautions for 30 laps, 47 laps to go, 8 lead changes. We've completed 103 laps, so 73 laps of green flag runs versus 30 under caution, so that is not a bad race by any means.
No, it's not in the field. Looks like it's starting to form up. Lights are out on the pace car. A lot of these cars, some damage, one fender or another. Not too many of them still straight. The fast way around Bristol tends to be creeping up along that wall. And Brian Barnes, green flag flies. Here he goes getting a start, but Scott Mann hanging tough on that outside.
Indeed, and we're going to crank it up, so we'll be back here. We're going to let you just fill these cars for just a minute. Alright, we are back here. A little crank it up here in the race. 110 laps is what we're on. We completed 109 of 150. So this next time by will be 40 laps to go. These laps are winding down very quickly here tonight, as we figured they would. They know what they're doing here, and they're good at it. So Brian Barnes looks to lead the race here, see if he can't get a win. That will be his first win of the season, even though he is currently sitting in the top 10 in points.
Matt Henry in the 19 is stalking the 90 machine of Scott Mann, inching ever so close to him. He's thinking about stealing second place here.
He is indeed, and Scott Mann's been really good all night long. He's got a ton of damage to the front of that car, though, so that may be hindering him just a little bit. Again, these short tracks don't require a lot of aerodynamics, but you still need some. And that very well could be hindering him, you know, especially compared to the 19 of Matt Henry. He does not have any damage to that car, at least none that we can see visibly. Is right there is Jeff Stabnow back on the lead lap again. So he's back in 10th. He's working his way up. Question is, can he get up there? He's got John Ottenbacher in front of him in 9th. He's also on the lead lap even after that incident. So I'm sure he's glad to be on the lead lap even after a little spin there, a little contact.
Yeah, Unbacher, with an unfortunate misjudgment, thought he had the space between him and Tom Green, sending him spinning, but so far sitting in 9th place doesn't seem to be hurting his finish as of right now.
No, he'll get a top 10 out of it. I'm sure he'd love to get a little bit higher up. Currently he is not even in the top 20 in points, so he wants to get up there and get into the points. Again, playoffs will be starting in a few weeks, so these guys want to get as many points as they can, and once playoffs get here, they reset. You win and you're in. That's how you have to advance. So, you want to be in there in the points, and that's what he's fighting for right now. I'm sure he wants to just get as many points as he can so he can get into that chase.
Jeff Stabenow closing the gap on John Ottenbacher. Ottenbacher not going to challenge him. He's going to run on the bottom there and allow Stabenow to fly by him on the outside. And Chris White closing in on him now too.
Yeah, these guys are really starting to get into a rhythm here. They don't want to push any issues too much, and it's really surprising to see Chris White back in 10th. He is on the lead lap, as he has had a not a bad, horrible day, you might say. It's not been the way he wanted to go, I'm sure, but it was by no means a horrible night, as he is currently scraping the wall, but still in 10th. And he is your points leader again with 310 points, 46 point lead right now, so he's got a cushion. Again, you know, that doesn't mean anything once the playoffs start, so he needs to be putting together some good finishes and getting the win, or multiple wins, if he wants to do it, as a caution is going to come out.
Caution is coming out, and it looks like Andy Vogt might possibly be the one who it's for.
We'll see. Mike Peterson got involved as well, so let's go back and take a look.
Mike Peterson.
Mike Peterson scraped the wall, then just spins it out right there. Oh, a lot of cars getting in, almost getting involved in that, as everyone was able to get around. But Mike Peterson going around to bring out the caution here. Again, that is caution number 7 for 32 laps, 27 laps to go here. This race is in its last leg.
The laps are winding down. Mike Peterson already scored a couple laps down. Did not want to have an issue for the rest of the night, but here he is bringing out the yellow once again. However, that is a good break for some of these other drivers. It's going to allow Chris White to come down pit road one more time, maybe fix some more of that damage that he suffered from the spin between him and Mark Walls.
Indeed it will. And you know, looking here, we'll take a look. Jeff Stabenow currently 6th position. He is moving up slow and steady, so he is indeed working his way back up to the front. The question is, does he have enough time? I think he does. We have well over 25 laps to go here. Well, not well over. We're actually going to have less than 25 once we get the green. So he still has time, though, I think, to make his way back up to the front, and he very well could have a top 3 finish by the time this is said and done.
And he's got plenty of time to work through the field here, especially with the double file restart. And if he starts on the outside, if no one makes a surprise pit stop, he will be starting on that preferred line here, in my opinion, at Bristol, that outside line.
Yeah, outside, and we watched him in practice. He really liked that outside line. We had some people saying they were struggling there to get around on the outside, as they were having problems not getting into the wall. But Jeff Stabenow's been doing it pretty good all race. He was doing it in practice, and we'll see if he can implement it here some more. If he can, it has a lot of momentum coming off the corner.
Meanwhile, though, he's going to have to find a way to catch that 4 machine of Brian Barnes. Barnes is doing a terrific job out front here, and he has managed to lead at least every lap that I've seen.
He has so far since you got here and before you got here. As we'll take a look here up to Brian Barnes as a green flag getting ready to come out. He has led 80 laps, so you know, really just about since you got here and before, he has led everything. Jeff Stabenow led quite a few, but he was already out a lap down before you got here. So Brian Barnes, probably the dominant car, I would say, here tonight.
Field getting ready to go under green. Lights out on that pace car. It's peeling off. Here we go one more time. Green flag in the air. Brian Barnes on that loud pedal, getting a jump on Scott Meehan. And Matt Henry in that 19 machine going to try and battle with that 90 of Scott Meehan.
He is indeed here. As in 3 laps, we'll be at 20 laps to go here in the race. Again, we talked about it in the pre-year show. It was going to wind down quickly here, and it is doing just that. And it's winding down very, very fast. As Jeff Stabnow is up to 5th, but he's got his hands full right now with Brett Johnson, who's now going to put him back to 6th. So they're side by side, almost 3 wide. They are 3 wide going into turn 1. So, you know, we're in the closing laps. Next time by, will be 20 to go. These guys are really starting to take chances.
Yeah, Chris White, fourth and 3 wide, running that bottom. Brett Johnson in the 7, right in the middle, and David Applegate on the outside. And Chris White charging hard here. He wants to get back to the front. He senses the end of this race is near. He's got all the damage fixed that he can get. He's going to try and get all that he can here.
He is indeed, and he is just pushing the car to its limit. It looks like he's going to get by Jeff Stabnow. Stabnow running the high side, but it really doesn't seem to be working for him like it did earlier in the race. As he's actually losing positions, he's going to go all the way from 5th to 7th now, and he is in jeopardy of losing that to the 8 car of Gary Nichols. That'll put him back in 8th if he does get by him. So the outside lane not working like it did, may not have as much grip as we see a lot more guys running the bottom. And there goes the 8 car.
Yeah, it looks like Jeff Stabnow is starting to lose some ground here. Falling back in the 7th, just like that. You know, Brett Johnson charging on his inside. It could change. Here, anything could happen as I see Jeff Stabnow tag that outside wall coming out of the corner.
He did indeed. So, again, surprisingly, the 8 did not bring out a caution there. That was Gary Nichols, so he did get into a wall and didn't bring out a caution. This is the second or third time we've had someone almost spin it or even spin it and not bring out a caution, and that really is music to Ryan Barnes' ears right now. You know, he's just sitting back saying, don't bring out a caution. I'm up here at the front. He's got a 0.466 second lead, now 0.483, so he's pulling away from Scott Mann and Matt Henry right now. So the last thing he wants to see is a caution so these guys can catch up to him.
He really doesn't want to see a caution because that 35 machine of Chris White on fresher tires, he is charging through the field. He is running that bottom line. He's going to make a move on Matt Henry here for 3rd place. And if this continues to go green, this guy's got maybe just enough time to get to the front.
He may do it indeed. He is charging for it, like you said. He is a man on a mission. Corey Walters behind him. We haven't talked about him a whole lot. He has been up front for quite a bit of the race. He didn't lead any laps, but he started 6th, currently in 6th place, so he hasn't moved forward or backwards since the start of the race a whole lot. He has been a little higher than that, I believe, but I believe he's up to 2nd at one point, just couldn't quite hang on to it. To put that Budweiser number 9, Chevrolet Victory Lane. Right now he's battling John Onbacher, who's a lap down. So really no battle going on there, just for a position on track, but not for an actual position in the race.
With less than 10 laps to go, Chris White, Scott Mann, Matt Henry, these guys, a battle for 2nd place, really starting to shape up here. Chris White running that bottom line, lap after lap, coming out side by side with the 19 machine of Matt Henry.
Is indeed, as it looks like Scott Mann is going to get into the wall just a little bit. No harm done. Apologies for losing my voice here. Chris White will take 3rd. I have a feeling with 7 laps to go, Chris White having the battle with Scott Mann and Matt Henry is probably used up more of those tires than he probably wanted to. He wasn't just able to blow by them like he probably thought he would, but he is in 2nd now. Scott Mann gets into the wall. So the question is, can Chris White catch Brian Barnes? We have 6 laps to go. It's going to be a good race to the end.
Catching is one thing, passing's another. Brian Barnes on the a little bit older tires, going to have to hold that outside line and make Chris White work for it. But maybe not so much, because here comes Chris White side by side. We got less than 5 to go.
Indeed, as we're going to put up our leader there so we can see Brian Barnes out front at the moment, but did Chris White lead it? He is out front at the moment. Here from the driver bar. Can't tell. He's got a white bar, but I'm not sure. He may have led that lap. We'll see. It's right side by side, but that time it would go to Brian Barnes for the lead. So these guys are literally duking it out side by side for the lead. Chris White has the fresher tires, but are they going to be enough here with 3 to go? Fixing to be 2 at the line.
Brian Barnes is laying it on that high side. Looks like he's almost touching the wall. Several times I've seen him just touch the wall, but he's not lifting, and he has made Chris White hold that bottom line. He is not giving up that high side. We are on the white flag lap.
Is 1 lap to go. Brian Barnes is out front at the moment. Here comes Chris White. I don't think it's going to matter. I think he's going to settle for second. He's got 1 more shot to make it happen if he can get by him, but it's not going to happen. He's going to settle for second. Your race winner is going to go to Brian Barnes by .115, separating first and second at the end of the race.
Chris White getting that damage fixed and fresher tires there at that last second made a great charge through the field and winds up second place.
He did indeed, as we'll watch the leader here, see what kind of celebrations he is going to do while we get ready for the post-race show. So again, hang tight with us and we will be right back here in just a minute with your post-race show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. Unfortunately, we don't have Scott Mann with us, and we do not have Brian Barnes with us, at least not yet. So we are going to start with the one interview we do have here tonight, and that is Chris White in second place. First off, I just want to say congrats on a good second place run. After the ups and downs of this race, you finished second, and I'm not even going to ask if you had anything for the leader, because I'm pretty sure you did. I'm pretty sure KR would agree with that here. You had something for him. I think we just needed a few more laps. You were reeling him in, and you reeled him in quick. Just ran out of time to get him. So we'll get your opinion on the situation. So do you really think you had anything for him in those closing laps?
Yeah, you know, if I had about 5 more laps, I might have had something for him. I think Brian there in the 4 kind of held the upper line. That was kind of the groove to have. You get the run off the corners, and it's a nice little battle there.
It definitely was probably the best battle we saw all night, and it was for the lead at the end of the race. So definitely a great battle to watch here from up in the booth. But again, .115 separated you and Brian Barnes. I'm pretty sure you had him sweating a little bit. He probably thought you were going to get by him. Had we had, say, 2 more laps, you think you would have got by him, though?
I couldn't say for sure, but I could guarantee you it probably would have been neck and neck. Pretty good finish there.
It was, like I said, the best battle of the race all night, and of course it was right there at the end. But it gets a little late here, so we don't want to keep you too late here. We want you to celebrate that second place finish. Unfortunately, we don't have a first or third here to interview. So that being said, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give for that second place finish?
Yeah, first of all, I just got to say I took tires on that last caution. I think that was the golden ticket there. Kind of drove up through the field and was able to get myself up there to battle for the win. Sponsors, got to put myself out there with the Elite Star Marketing right now on the car. Toyota Camry was strong. Anybody interested in MCA, Motor Club of America, we got roadside assistance and travel discounts. Roadside assistance benefits and travel discounts. If you're interested, visit EliteStarMarketing.com. And got to thank new leader, Highway, Waltz Beer Co. for putting on this series again. A lot of fun out here. Couldn't do it without them. And congratulations to the 4, Brian Barnes. Look forward to next week.
All right. Well, it looks like we do have our first and third place drivers in here. So we'll get them up here and get Scott Man with us in here. KR, it looks like we have you here. So if you want to get Scott Man, I will do Brian here right after.
Scott Man, you managed to finish third after a late race charge from Chris White. Tell us a little bit about your race and fending off Matt Henry there for about the last 60 laps.
Am I on?
Yeah.
I don't know if okay, just checking. Yeah, I was hoping. I hope Chris had new tires on, because if he didn't, that was amazing. Yeah, that was everything I had to hold off Matt. Hopefully, I didn't hold him up. I was a little bit better than Brian getting in, but man, he was awesome getting off, and he did a great job, won the win. It was fun. Messed up in qualifying. I think I did a 27, but I tapped the wall right before the start-finish line. So all in all, good night. Want to thank Mark Walls and Jeff Stabnow for running a fun series, and want to give a shout-out to Humboldt Broncos that had a tragedy in up in Canada, my hometown. So, yeah, it was a good night.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, they lost a hockey team to a vehicle accident. They were all on their bus. And so shout out, very welcome to those young players who lost it. But, man, heavy hearts for that. But, Scott, got to be happy with third place. Lost out second to tires, but... And you did. You had a great race all night.
Yeah, it was fun. I've always enjoyed Bristol. I think Brian thought he was at Darlington. He was hitting the wall. I was hoping it'd slow him up a little bit, but man, he ran a good race. It was fun. I had a great time. Finally finished a race. I think that's only my second race I've finished. But no, it was fun. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to all the guys racing, and it was a good time.
All right, Scott. Well, appreciate you making it up here for the interview, and I believe Charles is our race winner.
I have indeed. Again, the wall rider, as we might call him here, the 4, Brian Barnes. It's a good thing we are not in a drought, because we saw some sparks flying. But in the end, a few sparks flying didn't matter, because now smoke's a-flying. From those back tires, as he did some donuts, won the race here, put it in victory lane. So how does it feel to put it in victory lane and walk away with the win here tonight?
No, it feels great, man. These guys are such good drivers now, in this league, that it really feels good to get one. I've been trying hard.
And it looks like, too, it's going to be a good points night for you here. You're sitting currently 7th in points. Case Hinkins was not here tonight, so you will pass him in the points. I do believe you're only like 3 points behind him, so you're going to pass him. David Applegate finished a few behind you, so you may reel in some on him. Gary Nichols also finished a little higher than him. Carl Burke, Jeff Stabnow, and obviously Chris White. So you're going to have a very good point side here. It's going to bump you forward quite a bit in the point standings. You may be looking at a top 5 in points. Going forward to the chase, again, you got to be, I believe it's in the top 8, but we do have some drop weeks you got to count in there. But not counting the drop weeks yet, being inside that top 8 and now going to secure your spot a little bit more. So you look to be in the chase as of right now. So as far as knowing that you are probably in the chase, just your thoughts on that. Is that are you ready for it, or do you still have some practicing to do? And just how do you feel about the chase in general?
I haven't even looked to see what tracks are in it, but I'm looking forward to it. Like I say, this has been a fun group of guys to run with. Could have used a few less cautions tonight because I was running out of restart ideas.
Well, you definitely managed to have just enough tricks up your sleeve here to get the restarts and pull away with the win. Any sponsors or shout-outs you want to give for that win here tonight?
No, kind of a lone runner here, but I do appreciate the sponsors of this race that keep you guys doing what you do, and we do appreciate it. So thanks to all them.
All right, well, again, congrats on the win here tonight. Go get that winner chicken dinner. And that is, if they're open, it is midnight, so you may have to wait till tomorrow to get that chicken dinner that the winner always gets. So make sure you go celebrate good and make sure you eat that dinner for us, because, it sounds pretty good right now. But we still have some more business to take care of here in the booth. One of those being your unofficial race results. KR, if you want to run through our top 10, I will round out the field here through 20th.
Brian Barnes, your race winner tonight, doing it in spectacular fashion, fending off the hard-charging Chris White from Fresh Tires. He's going to get the win. Chris White's going to pick up second with that valiant effort. That last-minute pit stop that he made all the difference he needed. Scott Mann's going to be third. Matt Henry will end up fourth. Rounding out your top 5 will be the 23 of David Applegate. Corey Walters is going to finish 6th. 7th place is Brett Johnson. 8th in the 8 machine is Gary Nichols. And Jeff Stabnow will end up 9th. And 10th place will go to the 10 car of Andy Vogt.
In 11th is going to be James Dalzell. Didn't get to talk about him a whole lot tonight, but he did finish in 11th on the lead lap. Everyone behind him did not finish on the lead lap. The first one, a lap or more down, is going to be John Ottenbacher in the 12th. 13th, Trent Alley. 14th, Mike Peterson. 15th, Tom Green. 16th will go to Mark Walls. 17th, Carl Burke. 18th, Dana Rogers. 19th, Scott Hutchinson. And rounding out your field here in 20th is William Fletcher. Again, William Fletcher and Scott Hutchinson did not start the race here tonight. So, unfortunate for them. Those two did not start for whatever reason it was. But that will do it for the results here. We want to give a big shout out to all the sponsors, of course, on the racing side of things. Walls Beard Co. For coming on board as the title sponsor for the truck series for the rest of that season. New Leader and, of course, Highway, all part of the Highway Equipment Company. They are under that same umbrella, so make sure you check all those sponsors out for all the great stuff that they do, and thank them for all they do to sponsor this series and bring us here at MaxSpeedTV on board. And of course, with that being said, the sponsors here for MaxSpeedTV, one of those is, of course, Walls Beard Co. Just joined. They are not only a general sponsor here, they are also the starting grid sponsor. SimSpeedShop.com, and of course, HomeNet hosting and PC repair. Elite 7 Racing, and Ohio IndyCar League, all great sponsors that are here on board with MaxSpeedTV. As always, if you would like to partner up with MaxSpeedTV or this league, you can message them on their Facebook page. Just look up Northwest Racing League, or you can look up MaxSpeedTV on Facebook. Shoot us a message if you'd like to be partnered with us and get your name out here and get some great exposure for your company, league, whatever it happens to be. We can work out something with you here on MaxSpeedTV to get you some exposure. That being said, that just about wraps it up. Any final words, KR, before we sign off for the night?
Some great racing here at Bristol. I really liked the plan or strategy that Chris White used. He almost managed to pull it off, but in the end just was unable. Fell one position short from charging through the field after that late race pit stop.
Did indeed. Just a little bit short of the win, but overall great race here. So that being said, as always, on behalf of MaxSpeedTV and the Northwest Xfinity Series, we will see you tomorrow night. We have, of course, the Nork iRacing Series and the American iRacing League for some dirt and for some asphalt. So we got it both covered tomorrow night, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. Later this week, we do have the Upper Edge Racing and the Northwest Truck Series, so stay tuned for that as well. And have a safe night, well, morning at this point, and we will see you at the next race.